Hello, my lovelies. Welcome back to my channel. I am Kelly Lee, and here's where I talk about everything witchcraft, spirituality related that I do in my everyday life, as well as aromatherapy, herbalism, and tarot. This is another video, a little side topic. I know how I have been talking more lately about my chronic pain, things that I do to cope, my migraines, things like that. So I just wanted to do a little see what's in my bag of my pain bag. I call it my pain bag, but it is what I bring with me everywhere in case any of my chronic pain flares, if I get a migraine, if my joints start aching, things of that nature. So I just wanted to do a little walkthrough with you to maybe give you some ideas if you have been thinking about making a little bag to carry around with you. Maybe I can give you some ideas. Now, this bag it's about, the size of like, my hand, lengthwise. And I actually got this bag when I bought a bigger bag, and it had the same pattern and it just came with a smaller one. But I have used this continuously since then. But let us dive right in. First off, as I have stated before, I have chronic migraines. I have EDS and I have rheumatoid arthritis, as well as a hiatal hernia, which causes severe heartburn. Um, so I am dealing with pain pretty regularly. My normal level of pain is usually at a 4 or a 5 any given day. So I need things to help me deal. So this is my pain bag. And as I go through, I will tell you all why I have it in here, how it helps me, and maybe, just give you some tips of some other things, that you could, potentially have in here. First off, a hair clip. I have a hair clip and a hair tie. Now, depending on if I am getting a migraine or a headache, I cannot use a hair tie. A hair clip is much better. And when I am getting a migraine or a headache, I tend to get overstimulated. And if my hair is down, it tends to overstimulate me even more. So just clipping it back really helps me to cope. So hair tie, a little clippy. Then we have in here, I have a few. I'm just going to pull them all out. I have a few creams, lotions, ointments. Some I have bought, some I have made myself. This is a little lotion container. I've had it for a very long time. I just refill it, because it's small and convenient. I refill it because when I am in a lot of pain, I can get very overstimulated very easily. And having dry hands, or having like, sometimes if I'm getting a migraine or I'm overstimulated, I get hot. My hands can sweat, they can feel dirty, so I go to wash them. But if I wash my hands, I have to put lotion on them, lotion or some type of cream. So I have lotion, I have calendula infused salve with lavender essential oil that I actually showed you all how to make in a video that I posted a couple weeks ago. And then this is a social CBD muscle balm stick with calming lavender. It does have CBD in it. I use this one a lot on if my joints are hurting, because the CBD is really good for aching joints, as well as the lavender. There's also chamomile in here and a whole bunch of other really good things in there as well. If you are looking to have like something like this, and it's a pretty thick stick too. Smells amazing. It lasts for so long. I bought this and I absolutely love it. I take it with me everywhere. So I have my creams and my ointments and my lotions. Another, oops, the case came off of it. Another thing that I always have with me is chapstick. Again, overstimulated. If my lips are dry, they are chapped. It can just cause me to be in so much more discomfort. So all of these things help with the pain. These things, aside from like this one and this one, because this one can help take pain away in your joints and your hands and such. These are just to help me just not be overstimulated and to feel calm. Then I have, of course, I buy like the industrial size of ibuprofen. So I refill this bag and keep it in here. So I have ibuprofen. I tend to try to only take ibuprofen because other pills, because of my hiatal hernia and my heartburn and such, other pills, aspirin, Tylenol, tend to hurt my stomach. So I have found that ibuprofen is what I need to have with me. If so, I am prescribed heartburn medicine, and it does keep my heartburn under control. I take it every single day, but sometimes I get breakthrough heartburn. So I do like to always have some omeprazole on hand just in case I get breakthrough heartburn, because I have found as well that if I have really bad heartburn, it can actually trigger a headache or even trigger a migraine. So I like to always have some heartburn medicine. I also have, I will try to not show you the information, but I do have some, a migraine abortive that I keep in the bag itself. So if I know that a migraine is coming, I can take that with, like half an hour to an hour before, and hopefully either stop it in its tracks, or I can slow it down to where I can get home, I can get in my bed, I can get into like a dark, cool room, I can put my migraine cap on and try to feel better. It sometimes, when I get a headache or a migraine, I can get nauseous. So I do like to keep mints. These are green tea mints that I keep in my bag. I also usually have the white and red peppermints or peppermint gum, but I am out of those right now. I do need to get some more, but I love these because these are actually made with herbs and, as it says, premium Japanese matcha. It says fight dragon breath like a samurai warrior, made with green tea to help conquer bad breath naturally. So it's matcha green tea, peppermint oil, spearmint oil, stevia leaf extract. I love these. They really help to help my nausea, as well as, again, sometimes when I get heartburn or I get a headache, the smallest things can overstimulate me. Having like a weird taste in my mouth, or thinking that I have bad breath and I'm not at home and I can't like brush my teeth, I do like to eat a mint just to like freshen my mouth up, maybe help me feel a little bit better. I do keep floss in my bag as well, just in case I need to, if there's anything in my teeth that is, sometimes if food gets jam-packed into my teeth, it can cause pain, it can cause discomfort, and sometimes my headaches and migraines can migrate down into my jaw, and just flossing my teeth can just, I don't know what it is, but it can make me just feel a little bit better. So there's that. This may seem counterintuitive. I have talked about this before. This is my little ouchie. I have talked before how I pain stim. And sometimes if my migraine or my headache is really, really bad, I can pain stim with this. and the little amount of pain that this causes on my hand can sometimes help to detract from what's happening with my headache or my migraine. But also just like, distracting myself and just rolling this back and forth, it does distract me and make me feel a little better. One more thing I keep are just like makeup cleansing wipes. I like to keep a couple in here just in case, like again, I get sweaty, I get hot, I just feel like I need to just like be like freshened up and to be like cleaned. I do have these. Most of the time I will just like splash water on my face because I don't normally wear makeup. So I'll just like splash water on my face. And that helps. But if I feel like I really need to get, the stuff off, I have these. And last but not least, and also remember that this is an ever evolving bag. Sometimes things change. Sometimes I'll find something new that helps, and I will add it to the bag, or I will replace something in the bag. But I always have some type of candy. Sugar can sometimes really, if I'm feeling really like dizzy, weak, if I just feel like I'm just like not okay, sometimes eating a piece of candy, like a lollipop or, some chocolate can really help to perk me up a little bit. And I love candy, and it in general, just makes me feel better. So I always like to keep a few pieces of candy, even though no matter where I am, I have candy with me because I love candy. Like right now, I also have jelly beans just on my desk here. Downstairs, I have Reese, so I have candy everywhere I go. Oh, I did forget this too. I do keep a little nail file in my bag as well. Again, overstymied. If my nails feel weird, if they feel chipped, if they feel rough, it will drive me crazy. So I like to keep a little nail file in there. So that was my pain bag. Now, some other tips that I have as I repack my bag here, I will just talk and go over some things. So tips for things, that you can put in here that maybe I don't have in mine right now. Earplugs. Earplugs are like noise canceling headphones. If the noise becomes too much, ginger really helps me, especially during a migraine, but like ginger candy can also help with nausea and or migraines. I am also there's a specific type of ginger candy that I like, and I should have made sure I had it before I did this video, but I did not. But I have found that ginger shots, the kind, that you can just like buy in the grocery store. If I take them if I take one when I know that a migraine is coming, it can sometimes significantly reduce the effects of the migraine. Most of the time I still get it, but sometimes it's not as long. Sometimes I have a little bit of a breather before it starts. Sometimes it's not as intense. So it does really, really help. And like I said, hair ties, candy, stress toys. So this is kind of, like a stress toy or like a fidget toy. But if you have one, that really helps, that you can stim with and really helps to calm you down, you can put that in there. Just whatever makes you feel better whenever you are out and about and pain hits you, you start to get a migraine, you're nauseous, what have you, just so you can have those things on hand to really help you feel better. Because I know it can suck to be out and about and then have to like leave, or which, let's be honest, 9 times out of 10, if my chronic pain flares up and I'm out and about, I want to leave anyway. I just want to go home. But if you don't want to go home and you want to like stay out and you want, to do things, it is very helpful to have all of this on hand. Another thing I wanted to talk about is chronic pain, chronic illness, like disability at work. I would highly suggest researching the company that you work for. Sometimes companies will have specific policies and things in place for people who have disabilities or chronic pain, chronic illness, and things like that. I work for such a company, and they are covered on what is called, they are an Ability One program company. And under the Ability One, their main focus is hiring, making sure that people are hiring people with disabilities, chronic illnesses, things like that, whether they be mental, physical, all of that good stuff, making sure that if they need accommodations in the workplace, they get them, making sure, that people who have disabilities and chronic illnesses and chronic pain are taken care of in the workplace. But first step of anything to do at work is to get documentation from your doctor, because regardless of what policy your employer has, they are going to require some type of documentation probably. If they don't, I have never heard of that before in my over a decade in HR, so get documentation. And when you get documentation from your doctor, you want them to put in there the accommodations that you could potentially need, like more frequent breaks, more times, to like stop and snack on food, more if you need to, like be able to leave early if it hits you and causes you pain. Now, leaving early and going to doctor's appointments and stuff for a chronic illness or a disability can be covered under the FMLA Act, which is the Family Medical Leave Act. And if you apply for that and you get approved, you can use those hours to cover when you have to leave work because of your illness, chronic illness, or disability. So I encourage everyone, if you stay till the end of this video, thank you so much. I so appreciate it. I encourage everyone, if you are contemplating getting accommodations at work, research the policies that your company has and start the process with your doctor. Give them a heads up. Let them know that if it is feasible, that you are going to start that process. Okay? Thank you so much. If you stay to the end of this video, thank you so much. I hope that this helped. I hope maybe it gave you some ideas of things to put in your pain bag. But yeah, I wish you nothing but blessings and growth. And if you are on a journey of getting accommodations and things at work, I wish you all the luck. If you have chronic pain, chronic illness, I am with you. There are ways to cope. We just usually have to find them. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.